Welcome to the Art of Yaomi. Today I'm going to be working on this fluid abstract art painting. It's a very simple painting. I'm going to use rainbow colors and I'm going to start with the color purple. So here we go. I like to pour puddles. So I'm going to start with the purple. I'm going to pour some puddles and then I'm kind of going to work my way up. So you see the different colors that I have. I have two different blues instead of two different purples, and that's fine. It's beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so whatever you want to do, experiment your imagination, use it. So I'm going to use like a sea blue and a sky blue, um, and I'm also going to use this green here. So you see me stirring because sometimes the paint can get a little, not, I won't even say sticky, but a little thick. So you try to keep that nice honey consistency, and that's the reason why you see me stirring a lot of the times. So the paint that I'm using is Amsterdam paint, and I really like Amsterdam. I'm moving away from Artist Loft a lot, but I still use Artist Loft, but Amsterdam paint. Their colors are so vibrant, so I always like using their paint. So what you see me doing here is trying to measure without a scale, because I need enough paint to cover both of these canvases. I want to do both rainbow canvases, slightly a little bit different, but I don't know if I have enough paint. I think I do, but in the middle of this, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I have enough paint. So what you see me is using that torch to sort of like pop all the air bubbles, and now I'm using a actual blow dryer that you use for your hair to spread the paint across the canvas. But you see I'm interrupted a little bit because I forgot some steps here. I wanted to take some of these colors and allow these colors to be also within the body of the paint. So I had to go back and pour all the colors, and I was, pouring these colors up the center of the paint because that will give it some nice characteristic looks and make it look really nice. That's what I was going for. I know I particularly forgot white and gold, but I decided I was going to use each color and I was going to allow each color to permeate through all the colors. So that was the goal here. Now, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do this, but this is a very easy painting for someone who is painting for the very first time and you don't know what you want to do. So this painting right here where you just use all the colors of the rainbow and you decide to use these colors because you can't go wrong with the rainbow. It's just always going to turn out really pretty, and if you're using Amsterdam, it's really going to turn out pretty. And Artist Loft painting as well, it's going to turn out beautiful as well. So here you see me with the blow dryer, kind of like going up the center of the painting. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know exactly what I want to do here, because I don't. I am kind of looking at this paint and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I don't have enough paint. That's what I'm thinking. And then I kind of like stopped panicking a little bit and just started working my way up the painting to now where I'm at it in orange and red. And one thing I like about Amsterdam red, it glides so lovely over paint, over a canvas. I really love red Amsterdam because it just looks so nice. And I could always count on it to spread evenly across a canvas. Not necessarily all the colors operate in this way, but red for some reason is so easy. So now you see that I think I might have to add some more paint, some acrylic paint. This is what I'm using, acrylic paint. And you see I'm adding purple, and I think I'm going to add some blues, and I'm going to add maybe some greens here, because this is a voiceover, because every time I try to talk while I'm painting, I always make huge mistakes. I forget to say things. So I definitely added more paint to have the paint be able to spread across the canvas, and it worked. So I didn't have to add too much. So I was very excited. Um, uh, I added some, the blue and then the green. And then I saw that, I had enough. And I thought, okay, I have enough for the second canvas as well. So that's what you see me doing, is working with the blow dryer, trying to spread the paint over the canvas. And I really don't have a direction. Really, I'm just working on this, and I'm just playing it by ear. And sometimes you come out with some of the most beautiful paintings by playing by ear. You don't necessarily have to have the plan exactly, but if you do have someone who wants somebody's commission, you get a commission where they want a painting the way they want it to look, then of course you can't play it by ear. But when you're just learning how to work with fluid abstract art, you definitely just want to experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And like I said, if you're going to make mistakes, go ahead and make it on a painting like this, because you really can't tell that you made a mistake. There's notes that you can take and say, hey, I probably won't do that the next time. But at the same time, I definitely really love the colors. As you can see, that just beautiful. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And it's just really nice. And then once it's dry, you can add other touches to this painting. You just don't have to leave it like this. Can be just a background. So don't be upset with yourself at all. I always understand that beauty, paint is at the eye, like I said, of the beholder. And yeah, just go for it. So I'm going to work on this second canvas, and I'm going to do something similar, but not completely similar. But I am going to take the puddles and work my way up with the paint. Now you see that I'm turning those cups because I'm trying to get all the paint out of the cup. And then usually my hands get really sticky and I need a napkin to wipe my hand. So usually you'll see me walk away from the painting because there's a lot of paint on my glove. So once the paint is all over the glove, it can become very messy. So I have to every now and then wipe my hands. But yes, you see here that you have the paint, and I'm going up and up and up with the paint, and I'm using green. And I think I love every color. Every color. I don't know. I usually say red is my favorite color, but it's very difficult sometimes. It depends if red is going to be my favorite color or not. I don't know. But at the same time, I definitely am twirling those cups, trying to get all the paint out as much as I can. And you can see that there was not a lot of yellow, which that was a little bit disappointing for me, that the yellow didn't show up as much. But, I keep going and I keep trying. But I could tell that I have enough paint for the second canvas, but I might have to add some more paint. And you'll see at the end that I do use the color white to kind of like work with this. And I don't think I use each color through the center like I did before, because it just felt like, I didn't have enough at the end. And a lot of times once the paint starts to dry in that cup, you don't want to try to force it unless you're adding more paint and Fluidart to your paints, because it will start to harden. And not even harden, it just gets real, it gets thicker, and you can't move the paint like you want up over the canvas. So even though I'm not using as much paint, I found it very difficult to move the paint over the canvas because I didn't have a lot to work with. So that's the reason why um, it's good to have extra paint, so that you can move around. Because if you want to be creative, you're going to need paint to be creative. So, and also those who don't have a lot of money and they can't just, you know, use a lot of paint, you have to be very cost analysis in your head, because you don't want to just use a whole bunch of paint and it's all on the table and it's not on your canvas. That's just waste of money. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of the times when you have done this for a while, you start thinking in terms of money. Unless you have unlimited money where you can buy as much paint as you want, and some people are able to sell their paintings. There is this thing called the starving artist, and the starving artists sometimes have to be cognitive or cause. I can't even say that word. I'm sorry. You have to be aware that this may be, you might be just pouring paint on the table instead of just like, how they say you're pouring money down the drain. Well, in the artist world, you can't end up pouring money down the drain, especially with fluid abstract art, because you're learning how much fluid you can use for each canvas. So each canvas has a different size, and you got to figure out how much how much paint you need, and a lot of times in ounces, and you use your cups. But a lot of the times people use too much, especially when you first start off and you realize how much money you lose being a fluid abstract artist. So you see me using purple, and I don't have any more purple, so I had to go with the color white. I had to add the white paint to this so I could get the paint to move. So a lot of the times you want to get movement, but you can't get any movement if you don't have enough paint to have any movement. So you're going to see here shortly that I am going to add the white, but I added some blues and purples to get, things moving. So once I added that white, I was out in the clear. I was like, oh, thank you. And then it added such a nice little touch, I believe. I believe it added a very nice touch. I grabbed my blow dryer and I was able to move that purple along, the canvas. And I was just very happy because I just like, oh my gosh, if I have to mix some more paint in the middle of this painting, this is not going to be good. So it worked perfectly. So now I was able, like I said, with red, can't go wrong with red. Red spreads over a canvas so beautifully. Orange kind of like is, the orange is no competition for red, by the way. A lot of the times you put red and orange together, it's no competition. And yellow is just one of those colors where if you don't use a lot of it, it's such a bright color that you're always going to see the yellow. And green kind of has a nice contrast. But yeah, as you can see, I'm excited right now because I'm like, oh my gosh, it worked. Because I didn't believe that 40 ounce of paint that I had, because each cup was like 5 ounces, that it was going to cover 2 canvases, and it worked. And it barely worked. So what you see me doing now is going around the edge of the painting to make sure that the paint is actually covering the edges of the painting. And I'm so excited about that because I was just like, oh my goodness. It worked. So now I'm very happy because I know now that I have a background. So I can add stuff to this painting in terms of adding glitter to the painting because I think I'm going to resin both of these paintings, but you just want the coverage. So that's what you see me doing. You're just going in, seeing me fill in the holes around the painting, trying to make sure that the painting looks, nice on the side, even though if you get it framed or whatever, the sides don't matter as much. But you want to make sure that you're working your best on each painting and people know that you are putting in the work in your paintings, that you're not skipping steps. You're not just worried about what the front part of the canvas look like. You worry about the front, the sides, and the back. So that's very important to me. I don't like to see mistakes on canvases. That really kind of like just throws me off. So I'm always trying to fix things. So definitely with this situation here, usually I use more paint, but for this here, I decided to see what I could get away with in terms of 40 ounces of paint. So you see here, I'm working with the red, trying to cover the front. What I'm doing here is what I'm doing along all the sides of the paintings. So I see that this is working really, really good. I know that this is going to be really good results. So I'm very excited that Yeah, I have completed these two paintings. Now, you can see there's a little difference in these paintings because you see that I use more white and gold on the painting that I'm working on right now versus the other one where you don't really see any white. White did not show up really at all. Even though I did use a little bit of white, it still did not show up in ways that it showed up in the second one. And the second one really has character, by the way. That white actually gives it a lot of character. So don't be afraid to work on your paintings and be like, okay, the first one doesn't look like the second one. But a lot of times when you overdo stuff, that's what creates the beauty in a painting. You may think it doesn't look good, but sometimes when I initially think things don't look good, I after a few days I come back to it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely gorgeous. So some of the things that I like to do is just experiment with different colors, add different touches to each painting, and it's nothing like working on two paintings at the same time because a lot of the times you can sell these two paintings together, and people will most likely purchase these paintings because they're really colorful and beautiful and fun. So what you're going to want to do is like work on creativity. A lot of the times that paint, as you can see, goes up under the painting, but I have um, painter's tape up under the bottom of the canvas. So I like to clean it because if you don't, it can drag a lot of the paint off the painting because if when once you get drips, that causes other issues as well because it keeps dripping. So you want to make sure your painting doesn't drip completely because then you can come back and see that all the painting had, not all the painting, but in spots, a lot of the painting has fell onto the table because you didn't wipe the bottom of your painting. So the paintings will do drips because this is fluids and it's going to drip. So it's up to you to clean the paintings up. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. I really like the painting. I really was excited about it. So let me know what you're thinking. Give me some advice if you like and you see that I'm using the torch. I didn't talk about the torch much, but the torch is how you pop bubbles. But anyhow, I'm excited and happy for the results. So here are the results, you all. Absolutely stunning. I bet you did not expect this painting to turn out this way. I didn't even expect this painting to turn out this way, but it was absolutely marvelous. You cannot go wrong with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. That's why I say if this is your first painting, you should try something similar to this because it always turns out really lovely. I love how the colors complement each other. I love how the colors interact, creating this amazing abstract design. So, definitely, if you are starting out, or even if you are a great fluid artist already, please try something similar. It always turns out really well. This is why I chose this painting or these colors for my first video. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you for tuning in to the Art of Yaomi.